Because if a man comes along, and this is terrifying to me too, I'm not even gonna lie. If I met a man today that was very patient, that he was loving, he was genuinely kind, he was soft in his words with me, he didn't look down to me from my circumstance, he didn't expect me to explain my existence constantly, like the woman said, what you've been through. If it gets out to the room, then everybody thinks that it's an interview now, they have the right to question you. If he didn't treat you that way and he was behind you in your corner the way a woman would be, but with the solutions of a man, I would be scared of that man. I would be very scared of him because that man will expect more of you. Because the man who gives you the most compassion is going to expect the most growth, and he's going to create the circumstances for the most growth. You have to be an exceptional person with a person like that. Women are not afraid so much of the man itself, they're afraid of the consequences of who you might need to be. But they forget that a man like that is not going to be a tyrant over you. They're going to genuinely love you. They're genuinely going to create the circumstances for success. They genuinely care about your performance. They genuinely love you. They're scared of that because they think they don't deserve it, and they know it's going to be hard, and they don't want to disappoint somebody. And they don't want to disappoint a man because that man will give them a critique. And if they're genuinely in love with that man, it will break their soul in ways that I can't even explain. Because it's like all those other people abused me and they didn't love me. But if you love me and I disappoint you and you genuinely love me, then I have failed as a human being and I don't deserve life. That's how women feel. And it's not reasonable, it's not rational, because everyone makes mistakes and everyone fails. This is also why having a good father is important, because he'll push you to do things that you don't want to do, but you need to do.
All right, what's good, YouTube? It's your man, Book of Referendum, aka Dr. BOA. Yep, I got time today. In America, we have a problem with obesity. And it's not just men, it's not just women, no particular race or nationality. In America, we have a problem with obesity. That is why being in shape has such great benefits in this society. Sometimes you meet a woman and you're one of one. She ain't never been with a man that's in shape like you. You know what I mean? Last time she remember seeing somebody in shape like you, she was in school, in high school, college. And even in high school and college, the only people that are in shape are the athletes. You know what I mean? Outside of athletes, very few people are in shape. In the adult world, outside of athletes, very few people are in shape. So I want y'all to understand something. If you're not fit, your bra probably gonna get hit. Now we're gonna listen to Rocky Fit, older guy, about 60 years old, in great shape, on YouTube. He's gonna tell you about a situation where he is the side dude to a woman because her husband is a little bit overweight and he's having ED problems. And then we'll listen to Taylor Chandler, who's a younger woman on IG, dope content creator. And she's going to pretty much say the same thing. And they're both going to be talking about men who aren't in shape. What about the women who aren't in shape? How does that work out? We'll watch a short clip on that to end this piece of content off with. And it's going to be a phenomenal piece of content. Now let's do this. What about the women who aren't in shape? What's their reason besides excuses? Let's take a look at a clip that's going to tell us about that. But hold up, let's try this again. But women are also but women are obese as well, even more so than men. And we keep putting this pressure on men to be in shape, be in shape, be in shape. And I guarantee you, the woman that Rocky is talking about hitting probably ain't even in the best shape. But here's the thing. We'll listen to his clip and then we'll come back and chop it up on the real tip.
I got a message to all the men out there. I met a woman that's involved in a relationship for 25 years. She loved this man, but the problem is that he has erectile dysfunctional problem due to his overweight, poor diet, and when she wants sex, guess who she comes to see? If you don't change your lifestyle, you're next.
Now, look, the message is great. The message is great. If you got a woman and your wood don't work, you got some problems, especially if it's something that you can avoid. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Do not get yourself caught up, man, in no situation where you ain't got enough blood flow to your wood where your wood don't work. But by the same token, this ain't a flex. Here's a woman who got a husband at home, providing for her, protecting her. And then she can come to you and get what she ain't getting at home. Sound like the woman using both of y'all. So what it sounds like to me is whether you're an overweight man who wood don't work or you're an in shape man who wood does work, your very best endeavor in life is to be used by a woman for what she wants. Is to be used by a Jezebel for what she wants. Is to be used by, a succubus for what she wants. There is no flexing in this. And I'm going to be honest with you, brother. If this is what you're doing for real, then you're not blessed. You're not blessed at all. Being in shape is just about habits. How's the rest of your life? Because you're not blessed if you're sleeping with that man's wife. There's no way that you can tell me that you're blessed in every aspect of life. And if all your blessings just come from physicality, then yes, sleeping with another man's wife is probably the best you can do. So let's listen to Taylor Chandler, man. She's going to speak on some of the same things and say it the same way. Always condemning men. Yes, you should take care of yourself as a man for health, not for fitness, not to be in shape, but for health. Being in shape is just a benefit of health. Just focus on your health. But let's go.
Inferior man, out of shape. There's a lot of self-esteem linked up in that. When you don't take care of the body that you walk around in every day, you're not taking care of the vessel that you live in. You avoid lifting or cardio or both. Everybody needs to be doing strength training, y'all. You don't care for your body, you're sloppy. Not to mention the way that people interact with you when you care for yourself. It matters. It's helpful. When people feel like you care for yourself, they take care of you better. Some of y'all living in a fantasy land like, well, I think everybody should just treat me well because I'm a person. You don't feel like you got to show up in any kind of way to get something. Poor, you're poor. I know that reel right there is not gonna go. Okay, poor. You show up better, you get better results. Come on. So don't be sloppy.
Now, there is some truth to showing up better, you get better results. But these people lack the idea of spiritual astuteness. Spiritual astuteness is more important than physicality. Now, spiritual astuteness means that you apply. It simply means you apply the word of God to your life. That's the only spiritual astuteness. But that in itself veers you away from eating toxic things, eating foul things. Once you understand what these ingredients are in food, bro, you'll understand how many of them are linked to pork. You'll understand how many of them are linked to seafood. Just read ingredients on something. There's something you got in your house right now that you think is healthy, that you think ain't crossing no lines, but you look at the fine print and it says processed in a facility that also processes shellfish and crustaceans. Think about that. Processed in a facility that also processes soy and dairy. Trace elements of that is in your food. So if you follow the word of the Most High to a T, then you're gonna be in fairly decent shape. You know what I mean? You're never gonna just be this huge blob of a person who just isn't even attractive to the opposite sex. It's not gonna happen. But I say again, when you think about it, how people just say you're gonna show up, and because you look a certain way, you're gonna get the best result. If you look a certain way, but you're not spiritually astute, you're still not getting the best result. Can you get a better result than you do if you show up and you're 300 pounds? Yes. But to get the best result, you got to be just as adamant about your spirituality as you are your physicality. And Taylor Chandler, I don't know anything about her to know that she isn't. a good person and doing things the right way in life. Well, if she don't have a man, she ain't doing them as good as she could be doing spiritually. But I don't know her. She didn't say anything like Rocky said. Rocky said, man, he's sleeping with somebody's wife. Cardinal sin. But let's listen to this woman right here explain why women aren't held to the same standard as men when it comes to being overweight. They're just not held to the same standard. A woman can do whatever she want to do. She can be as big as she want to be. Nobody cares. Y'all seen the statue? I think it's in the middle of Times Square. Y'all seen that statue? This statue right here. Go find me where the man is represented like that. You'll see a statue of Rocky. You'll see a statue of Ali. You'll see a statue of Shaq. You'll still see a statue of Kobe, a statue of Magic, statue of Jordan. You see the statue of men at their physical peak. Never anything like this. But let's take a listen, man, and we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip.
We do the same diets as white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower, even when we're following the diet than our white women counterparts. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you.
Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. That would be cool if I wasn't a black man. Let me tell y'all something, brothers. No one in America is more stressed than the black man in America. No one in America has a greater struggle than the black man in America. No one in America is under attack like the black man in America. No one in America has to overcome more obstacles to success than the black man in America. No one in America has to do more with less than the black man in America. No one in America is more responsible for the growth of America than the black man in America. No one is more betrayed in America than the black man in America. So I don't want to hear nobody else, including black women, talking about what kind of damn struggle they got to go through. Because even though you're going through a struggle, it's not the same struggle as the black man. Because the law is with you, at the very least, against the black man. The law is against the black man every step of the way. You find me a successful black man, he deserves more credit than a successful black woman because he simply has more obstacles to overcome. And also, there are no societal benefits for him. There are some societal benefits for a black woman. There are some systemic benefits for a black woman. No matter, you can look at every situation that you find black people in America in, and if you take a man and a woman from that situation, in the exact same situation, there are systemic benefits or systemic ladders or systemic handouts that a woman can use that a man can't use. And that's just the reality of the situation. So if men can focus and get in shape, you know what we say as men? We're not in shape because we don't eat right. We're not in shape because we don't work out. We ain't gonna say, well, I be dieting and I be working out just like the white man does, and it still don't work for me. We ain't gonna say that because we know for a fact if we're doing it like it's supposed to be done, it's doing right. And I'm gonna be honest with you, just looking at this sister and listening to her, I don't know who she is, or judging by her energy and her voice and just her weight, she ain't been on nobody diet in recent years. That what you see on her is years of buildup to just eating what you want to eat, not controlling what you put in your mouth. That's all that is. All right, I'm done with this one. Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this prism of the ism. And as always, alphas up, betas down. Peace.